Picture this. Nigeria in the 1970s, swimming in so much oil money that we were lending billions to a country in Europe. Sounds wild, right? It's a story you've probably heard before on X, at family gatherings, or in WhatsApp groups. They say Nigeria was so rich back then, we bailed out the UK, or maybe Ireland. But is it true? Let's dive into the real story of Nigeria's golden era, the myth, and what it all means for us today. Let's set the scene. It's the 1970s, and Nigeria is the king of oil. The world's going crazy for crude, and prices are shooting up, from $3 a barrel in 1970 to over $30 by 1980. Nigeria is pumping out millions of barrels, raking in $25 billion in revenue at its peak. That's billions in 1970s dollars. Imagine the wealth. Lagos is booming with new skyscrapers, fancy cars are everywhere, and the government's throwing cash at huge projects like the Ajaokuta steel mill and Festac 77, the biggest cultural festival Africa's ever seen. Our foreign reserves hit over $10 billion. Nigeria's not just rich, it's a global player. People are saying we're the giant of Africa, and it feels like the sky's the limit. So where does this idea of lending to Europe come from? The story goes that Nigeria was so flush with cash, we loaned billions, some say $5 billion to the UK. Others claim $5 billion to Ireland under a gentleman's agreement. It's the kind of tale that makes you puff out your chest with pride. An African nation helping Europe? That's a flex. But here's the thing. I dug into the history, checked the records, and looked at what economists and archives say. And the truth, it's not what you think. Let's break it down. Back in the 70s, Nigeria was making bank, but we were also spending like there was no tomorrow. We imported everything, rice, cars, even toothpicks. The government borrowed heavily to fund big dreams, roads, bridges, factories. In 1970, our external debt was $1.5 billion. By 1975, it was $2.5 billion, and by 1980, it was pushing $5 billion. Who were we borrowing from? The UK, Germany, France, through the Paris Club of Lenders and the World Bank and IMF. That's right, Nigeria was a borrower, not a lender. There's no record, no document, no official trace of Nigeria lending to any European country. Not the UK, not Ireland, not anyone. So why do we hear this story? It's partly because the 70s felt like a time when Nigeria could do anything. We paid off some old colonial debts, invested in things like British bonds, and maybe that got twisted into lending. Plus, our elites were living large, studying in London, buying property abroad. It was easy to believe we were bankrolling the world. But the reality is that oil wealth wasn't managed well. When oil prices crashed in the 80s, Nigeria's reserves vanished, and our debt ballooned to $30 billion by 2000. We went from boom to bust, begging the Paris Club for debt relief by 2005. Here's where it gets real. That myth about lending to Europe? It's a symbol of what Nigeria could have been. We had the money, the potential to be a global powerhouse. But corruption, bad planning, and oil dependency let it slip away. By 2024, our external debt was $44.9 billion, and we're spending 80% of our revenue just to service it. It's a tough pill to swallow. But wait, here's the good news. Nigeria's not done. We're rising again. Look at our tech scene. Companies like Flutterwave and Paystack are putting us on the map. Our music, our movies, our hustle, it's all global now. The 70s showed what's possible when Nigeria dreams big. That oil boom didn't make us lenders to Europe, but it proved we can be giants. So what's stopping us now? Nothing but ourselves. Let's learn from the past, diversify our economy, invest in our people, and manage our wealth better. Nigeria's story isn't over, it's just getting started. So what do you think? Are we ready to make Nigeria a global powerhouse again? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share this video, and let's talk about how we build the future. Niger, we've got this!